Hello, my name is Bussy Davis and you're welcome to Life Stories with Bussy. Today I have a mail that was sent to me by a man named Dio. It's titled, "I'm in love with my mother-in-law." Can somebody be in love with their mother-in-law? But let's go into the story. I know this might sound selfish, but I don't think my life would have a meaning without her. I think it's better for all parties involved to know so that everyone will know where they stand. It says, I met my wife, Eniton, who we popularly refer to as Eni in the university environment. I am a lecturer, or I was a lecturer at one of the private universities in Nigeria. Eni was my student. She was quite the brilliant and focused young woman, and very beautiful too. Eni was everyone's favorite, and mine too. She was always in my office and we're quite close. Everyone knew Eni was my pet. I was always objective when marking her script though, and would usually give to other lecturers in the same department for a second opinion. In her last year in school, she had an emotional breakdown because her boyfriend broke up with her. The man was not in our school, but I was available to help her throughout the whole issue. When Eni graduated, she didn't have any of her parents or family members, but for a few friends who took pictures with her. She didn't have her family members there. I inquired about this and she told me that her grandma lived in the village, but her mom was in the US. I wondered what kind of mother was that would leave a child and not be responsible for her. I spoke to her grandma a lot of times and she always thanked me for taking care of Eni. I became her family and she would come in often and stay in my house on the campus. There wasn't anything sexual initially, it was just a brother-sister relationship. Many of my colleagues and friends were interested in her and she would seek my opinion on the people, and I was really candid about my opinion of them. I was in a relationship for 6 years which ended badly because my ex decided I wasn't good enough for her and she got married to someone. This breakup took a toll on me and I was an emotional wreck. Eni was always there encouraging me. One night, we had a lot to drink while discussing our past. She talked about how her mother abandoned her to her grandma, though she always sent money, but she needed her mother, and when she needed her mother was never there. She spoke about how she tried to be the best so she could get her mother's attention, but it just didn't catch her mother's attention. She was wailing and I really wanted to comfort her in that state. Suffice to say, we ended up on my bed. Immediately it happened, I felt so bad that I had gone beyond my territory. I was 13 years older than her and I would have known better. When I attempted to apologize to her, she broke down again. She said she didn't understand why I couldn't see her as a woman I could be involved with. She said she had a crush on me and had always loved me. I explained to her that having a crush doesn't necessarily mean love and that it would pass. She stomped out of the house early the next morning and I didn't see her for months. I called her severally and she didn't pick. I called her grandma and she was evasive about Eni's whereabouts. 6 months after, I got a call from an international number and it was Eni's mom, Shade Gomez. She informed me that her daughter, Eni, was pregnant and I was responsible. From the tone of her voice, I could tell she was disgusted and she threatened to report me to the university authorities for raping her daughter. This call left me dumbfounded. I called Eni immediately after and she picked. I asked if she indeed was pregnant. She confirmed it. Then I asked her why she didn't tell me. She said she didn't want to because I would have rejected her or took her for an abortion. I told her that she judged me unfairly. I told her I would come over to see her grandma. When I dropped the phone, I knew I had to do right by her. It wasn't a question of love, it was of honor. I saw her grandma and I told her I was ready to marry her. I spoke to her mom a lot of times and she applauded me for my decision. Eni and I got married a few weeks before our baby arrived and we're happy. Love wasn't an issue for me. I had always loved Eni as a sister and I believed that love would work for our marriage. After all, I had loved Shile, my ex, so passionately, but it didn't get me anywhere. Good things started happening. I got a job with a multinational. When our baby was about 7 months, Eni got a good job, but she had to do a lot of traveling. I didn't think it was a good idea, but she pleaded with me to understand that it was a chance of a lifetime. At that time, Sade Gomez, Annie's mother, came back to Nigeria for a while. The first time I saw her, I was transfixed to a spot. Sade is a beautiful woman at 40. If no one told you, you would think she was in her 20s. I've seen some pictures of her. Annie and I had discussed her with a couple of times, but her pictures didn't do justice to her. Sade was stunning. She didn't look anywhere near 40. Sade, my mother-in-law, was handy with our daughter. Annie was away most of the time, and Sade took charge of the home for her. Sade cooked, cleaned, and took care of the house. Whenever I had issue with Annie, which was a lot of times because Annie still behaved like a child, Sade would apologize on her behalf and get Annie to apologize. I had eavesdropped on their discussion before where she had scolded Annie on the way she treated me. Annie didn't think she was treating me anyhow, and when her mom kept saying she was wrong, she should apologize, she turned back to her mom and told her mom not to interfere. Annie told Sade that she had no right over her since she wasn't around to raise her. Even when Sade told her that she did all she did because she thought that was what was best for them at that time, Annie didn't step down. She told her mother bluntly that the only reason she's allowing her mother stay is because she's useful to her with taking care of our baby. Annie told her mother that at least the least she could at least do was take care of her grandchild since she didn't take care of her. Sade burst into tears and told her daughter that she knew she wasn't there, but someone had to take responsibility for taking care of Annie. Sade said she made sure Annie had whatever she wanted and sent her to the best schools. I was also shocked at the person my wife Annie had become. Annie had become rude, proud, and very arrogant. She did things as if she was the only person in the relationship. I tried talking to her so many times, but she was just stuck in her ways. She would always say, "You don't love me anyway, you married me because I was pregnant." Annie got pregnant again, and when we were still discussing about what to do with the pregnancy, Annie went ahead to abort it. She told me she had a miscarriage, but I overheard her telling her mom that she aborted it because she didn't want anything in the way of her career. Making love was a thing of the past since she was hardly at home anyway, and when she would say she doesn't want to because she doesn't want to get pregnant. If I didn't trust her, I would have thought Annie was cheating on me. Anyway, a day after the issue with her mom, she was gone again. Sade saw me and apologized for Annie's behavior. Sade accepted the blame for Annie's behavior. She said that if she had stayed back in Nigeria, maybe she would have raised Annie better. Annie was out for 6 weeks, and Sade was the one raising my daughter and cooking my meals. We got talking and I understood why she had to leave Annie. Said that Sade had Annie when she was 15. Sade had been impregnated by a copper who came for his NYSC in their village. The guy denied he ever had anything to do with her. She tried different means of abortion that did not work. When she finally told her mother told her that she should have the baby. Sade stopped school and had a baby. When Annie was 2, Sade decided to head to Lagos for greener pasture. She worked as a maid and kept sending money to her mother and her daughter. Later, her boss offered that Sade should come to Italy with him to take care of his dying mom. Little did she know that she was being trafficked for prostitution. She was excited to go and she emptied her account for her mom. When she got in and realized what she was meant to do, she didn't have a means of escape at that time, and she was afraid that something evil would happen to her and her daughter because she had taken an oath before she left. She only begged her captors to make sure that her mother got money every month to take care of herself and her daughter. Finally, she was able to escape and she found a way to another country where she slaved her life, working and going to school. The night she told me all this, she cried. She said all her life she had slaved so that Annie, her daughter, would not go through what she went through. Now, the same Annie treated her with so much contempt and had never failed to call her a bad mother. She blamed herself again for how Annie ended up. I felt a need to calm Sade down and I held her close to me. And I didn't know when we started kissing passionately. She suddenly came to herself and ran to her room. She kept avoiding me, and immediately Annie came back, Shade left. Now, the only person I can think of is Shade. She has refused to pick my calls or talk to me. I love Shade, and I want to make her happy. And I believe I can make her happy. As for Annie, I think that she can start her life all over again. I am in love with Shade, our mother. Mr. Dio, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know whether the viewers will have something to tell you, but the only thing I can say is that this would not work. So I would say abort mission right now. But I don't know what the viewers will say. So let's meet in the comment section and let's talk about this. Till next time when we come your way with another story. Bye. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share.